shit.
Little boys ain't shit chapter.
So did you want to give us a rundown on what the movie was about?
So, this is part 2 to the first one, if you have seen it. If not, spoiler alert, it takes place right after the ending where the dad dies and the mom has the baby. And it's from at that point on. It also touches back a little bit before the craziness starts in the movie, and then just goes from there. But
so yeah, if you are not familiar for some weird ass reason, because we just went through a pandemic, all you could do was watch movies. Yeah. Aliens have arrived from a meteorite hitting Earth, and they are highly aggressive, and they are attracted to sound, even the most minute of sounds. You must tiptoe through the daisies, or you will pay the price. And in this one, if you are black, you are definitely going to die for this family.
Unfortunately, every black character in the movie did die for the family, which was a weird thing.
All 2 of them.
It was noticeable.
I don't care if that's a spoiler for you. You knew this was going to happen. No, so...
and when you say tippy toe, literally, they walk through everything barefoot so that their shoes don't break twigs and shit, and they make a lot of noise.
And we have already been to this world where these monsters have arrived. They have started wreaking havoc on everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody knows nothing kills them. They are just the murder gods of everything. And somehow in this story, some people kind of forgot that.
It was, I don't know. I mean, the way that they made them vulnerable was interesting. It's not something that you would have found out as a normal human being unless you had someone who was deaf in your life. That was kind of interesting.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say if you have ever been around electronics such as microphones,
true,
and you've gotten a mic too hot or too close to a receiver, that is what bugs them. Nobody else in the world has figured this out except for this little girl and her family. And you know what? They are walking around this sound barrier world quietly until they forget that, again, nothing kills these things except for that.
Well, they didn't forget. They find out that they're vulnerable. That's how they figured it out the dad figured it out. So
yeah,
I don't know. The story is a little bit all over the place, but that's not even why I like this movie. That's mine was the filmography for the whole movie. I really liked the way he transitioned and told the stories at the same time and transitioned back and forth. I like camera angles that he used. The monsters, I was not impressed with the first time. I still wasn't impressed with them, I'd say.
And honestly, me being the horror movie nut that I am, I always have this theory. If you show the monster or the killer too much,
it's just not...
the impact of them dies down severely. Yeah. Unless that monster, such as Freddy Krueger, is just oozing with charisma.
Yeah.
That is the world's only loved pedophile.
Yeah. True. I would have to say that,
because he got burnt up to a crisp for being a nasty man. Him being on camera makes his movies better.
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead, you can't say the same for that. Jason, we saw what happened with Jason X. That was way too much Jason, and that was not his best outing. And in this one, A Quiet Place 2, we have the same problem.
Yeah.
We see too much of these monsters, and we see this thing that was once terrifying. They're almost just like Cujo now. You're like, well, maybe we can be friends, and they just walk around and like, nope, I guess not.
Yeah. And it was definitely a girl power movie, too.
Oh, my Lord.
And it wasn't done well. You know how we talk about this in the past.
When it feels forced.
If it's something, if it gives me some type of idea in mind and it's well done, then I'm not going to mind if you have an agenda behind it. But if it's just forced down my throat, I don't know.
Maybe they ought to do what we were discussing earlier, which is when we're talking about Alien, and they said the role of Ripley was written as a man. Mm-hmm. And then they said, nah, let's make it a woe man.
But just change every he to she, and that's it.
And every badass female character basically has not really ever reached Ripley's performance. And that goes for this movie as well. Emily Blunt is doing her damnedest to have another movie.
And protect your kids.
I wouldn't say that. All right, so her daughter and Cillian Murphy are going to go on this adventure to try to rid their area of these monsters. And the whole time, the little brother, because now we're talking about performances. We're talking about performances here. The little brother, he aced his job. He did a fantastic job. That job was to make me fucking hate him. Every fiber of his being, every curl in his head, I did not like that little boy.
He really, really was fucking up, man.
He was the wackest thing to ever grace the earth. And we know Milli Vanilli.
Damn.
But, like, seriously, the kid aced his role. In that entire movie, I would say he must have turned in the best performance.
Yeah.
Because again,
he played Whack really well.
You can't really hate him for doing a bad job.
Yeah.
If you see this character, if you're seeing what this character's doing and it's making you feel a type of way, clearly they're doing a superb job. And he did that. Everybody else was just kind of there. Cillian Murphy, again, he delivered a good job, but just like in our other movie review, you know Cillian Murphy's going to do a good job. You know he's going to ace it. But
I liked the part when they were talking about losing your humanity during any apocalyptic situation.
Yes.
And they brought that into this movie too. That I did like, and he conveyed that pretty well, especially through his actions and his words.
And I know the specific part that you're talking about, but I'm not trying to give away any spoilers, but I am going to say that is the part I was talking about where they kind of forgot what makes the monsters hurt. Mm-hmm. Because in that entire area, there's sound.
Yeah.
There's massive amounts of sound. And it was kind of common sense. Once you see this area that they go to, you're like, well, why didn't every goddamn body go there?
Yeah. That would make sense, right?
In that area, that is not a quote unquote quiet place. Mm-hmm. So they should be nowhere near it. But they were. And they were because slightly louder sound that you probably wouldn't even hear.
Like I said, the story was not... The story didn't make sense. If you do the pitch meeting for it, it's not going to go well.
It was. I wanted this to be a good movie because I enjoyed the first one so much.
I did too. The first one was better, definitely. But like I said, I did like the filmography a little bit for this. Not as much the character, but just the way he transitioned scenes. I'm not usually a big fan of like displaying scenes at the same time and cutting back and forth. But I don't know if I like the way what's his name?
John Krasinski. John Krasinski.
Yeah, I like the way he did it.
And honestly, he always goes on to these rants, or I see the rants a lot where he said, we never intended this to be a franchise movie. And God damn it, we could tell.
Yeah.
This was written like, paycheck? Yeah, I could take an infinity pool in my backyard. Why not? A Quiet Place 2. Mm-hmm. Fuck all little boys. Because they are shit. If you were a male in this movie, you were extremely lackluster. If you were a female in this movie, you were extremely effective in what you were supposed to do, and you got your goddamn job done.
It's true.
Each and every one of them.
Yeah. Even like the little kid.
Even Cillian Murphy's wife as a plot device to move it forward and give us another chase scene, which is supposed to get the heart beaten, but all it did was...
It didn't fit into the story necessarily.
All it did was make a vein in my forehead almost pop because, god damn, that whack-ass boy.
Yeah, I know.
Now, all right, so performances were solid, especially from the boy. The ones that they were really trying to push forward, they delivered. They didn't fail us. They didn't drop character like most characters do in like a Marvel movie like Scarlet Witch, who keeps forgetting that she has an accent, even though they tried to half-ass explain it in the
show.
Scarlet Vision or whatever the hell it was.
It's kind of weird thing.
WandaVision, my bad. WandaVision. They tried to half-ass explain why she keeps losing her accent, but all actuality is they just kind of fucking forgot. And she was like, this has been a long goddamn day, and y'all got me showing off more tits than I want to.
Right, y'all got me fucked.
Let's be real. But in this movie, again, they had a bit of an agenda they were pushing. I say it's an agenda they were pushing because it felt unnatural. Mm-hmm. It was just odd. But other than that, everybody delivered.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt delivered. Again, Cillian Murphy, always going to deliver. For some reason, John Krasinski decided to do this flashback scene where he was in it. Black guy died for him. Weird move,
It
bro.
was weird.
Weird fucking
That
move.
part was weird too. And Amistad.
It's super weird. But let's talk about the graphics. Monsters, they didn't look terrible. They looked fine.
Yeah, the monsters in themselves, the CGI didn't look terrible. I just thought the monsters were whack.
I'll put it this way. I am a fan of the Resident Evil games. Therefore, I am
fair.
fully knowing what a liquor looks like.
Yeah.
And this is basically a liquor, except they decided to take the premise of a liquor with the idea of I forgot what the monsters are called, but the spore people from The Last of Us.
Yes.
This movie is basically The Last of Us on this one, and it's not done very
with those
well.
creatures, yeah.
Because this is a post-apocalyptic because of monsters or virus, whatever you want to say. Post-apocalyptic, we got to be quiet around these things, otherwise they will murder us dead. Mm-hmm. And they just kind of dropped the ball on this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but I still enjoyed it overall. I didn't think it was super great, but I'm not huge into monster movies as it is, so...
And I've been saying for a long time, there's very little horror movies and more sci-fi action.
Yeah.
This was definitely a sci-fi action
I would
movie.
have to agree with you. I personally liked RoboCroc better than that, but... I'm just saying, that movie's my jam.
All right, so, I mean, with this, I will say, with story, performances, graphics, visuals... I am going to go with 5 out of 10.
I was going to give it a 6.2 to 6.5-ish right there.
It wasn't terrible.
I
It
liked
just
it.
wasn't good.
Yeah. If I'll watch it again, I have to give it more than a 5. And I would watch that one again. So
Again, if you're laying on the couch, you got your shirt off, remote's too far away, and it comes on, don't turn it off.
no, but if you have the option to watch Love and Monsters instead, do that.
Yes,
Do that. If you haven't seen that yet, don't watch A Quiet Place 2 first. Watch Love and Monsters first if you're going to pay for one. Sorry, I'm just putting it out there.
Exactly. That is a very good
I wish we had done that one. Damn.
Because, yeah, Love and Monsters was dope. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much all we had to say on this. Sorry that we're bringing it out so freaking late. I'm going to blame her.
I'll take it, but thanks for watching. It's been Diana.
Nick P. We'll catch you next time.
Peace out.